I am your sword and your shield. It's actually a funny story. I was supposed to be a guard in Jarl Elisif's birthday soiree. But just an hour before the party started, some of the dancers got sick. So they pushed me to the dancing floor because apparently, as a former Bard's College student, I knew everything about art and dances. I danced like a drunken troll. Well, as I began to move my arms and twist my legs, the whole court erupted in laughter. Whether it was out of amusement or sheer humiliation, I couldn't tell. But while everyone focused their attention on the ugliest moves ever danced, an assassin, quick as the wind, emerged from the kitchen. Dressed like a cook, no less. I know, right? He didn't live to tell the reason, but my guess is he didn't want to murder the whole court. Everyone panicked as the assassin dashed to the steward, while the guards were just slowly putting together what's happening. With mere seconds to react, I drew the sword from a guard nearby and hurled it towards the assassin's throat. Hit right at the target. Blood splashed all over my dress. Ew. Thanks, though I would have preferred to keep that dancing dress. They were going to gift it to me after the party. Just as he thought the steward wouldn't expect to be killed by the cook, I'd reckon. Yeah, the maiden who saw blood as she pierced a cook's throat with a sword. Not exactly the way you imagined I acquired my nickname, was it? Well, you know me. I was trained in the Bard's College, after all. You know, in Skyrim, only blood and fighting are always true. Well, they gave me a raise and a new sword. Though I would have preferred if they had given me another one of those dancing dresses. It's really the prettiest thing I've ever put on. Of course. I've only heard whispers from the maids. It seems Pelagius the Mad used to love it there and decorated it in the most bizarre way imaginable. Like painting the walls with blood, brain, bone meal, and cheese. But honestly, if the people in the palace are so scared about it, even sealed it off for hundreds of years, why didn't they just demolish it? Seems like a waste of space to me to just leave it there untouched. Sure, my Thane. Although I spent most of my adulthood in solitude, I actually hail from the town of Dragonbridge, where my parents owned the inn. My father wanted me to find a good husband in the city, so he sent me to the Bard's College. Said it'd get me into the upper society. Well, I guess it did, just not the way he expected. For a time. But music and lore are not really my forte. Besides, I hated reading. I found myself having a knack for finding troubles and resolving them, and it got the attention of Captain Aldous. So I dropped out of the Bard's College and began my training under the captain. Best decision in my life. Captain Aldous expected me to join the Legion, but I thought I'd become a guard instead. Well, no. As a matter of fact, I've almost never been outside Hofengar before I became your housecarl. Which is why I'm so excited to go out there with you. I didn't want to fight against my brethren. As a guard, I'd be protecting my people, whereas as a soldier, I'd be bringing the fight to them. That's not what I wanted to use my sword for. Thanks. Of course. You mean Fida? She's my sister-in-law. When my parents passed away, my brother inherited the inn, but he didn't really pay much thought to it. Instead, he spent all day making troubles, so the inn's burden fell to his wife's shoulders. Between caring for my good-for-nothing brother and running a disrepaired inn, I'm amazed at how well Fida's managed it. Look, drinking and dancing in the inn is fun, but it's a whole different tale behind the bar. You have to manage the ale, calculate expenses, and diffuse drunken brawls. Ugh, just talking about it gives me a headache. Now you see why I'd rather have Fida take over, yes? In Sovngarde, may he have peace. When news of Ulfric's rebellion reached Dragon Bridge, my brother was the only man in town to join the Stormcloaks. Troublemaker or not, he considered himself a true Nord through and through, and he'd never back down from defending his homeland. You're right, they didn't. Fortunately, Captain Aldous vouched for me and saved me from a trial. Without him, I'd probably be back home in Dragonbridge, or in jail. When Fida heard of my brother's death, it nearly broke her. Fortunately, there was this Imperial man who offered her comfort when she needed it the most. He chose his side in the war, and he died the death he wanted. There's nothing to avenge. Well, my brother was already gone. Can anyone be so cruel to damn a young woman to a life of widowhood? Besides, between you and me, she deserved someone better than my brother. Of course. Lead the way. Despite the walls and armies of solitude, I never truly felt safe, knowing the Thalmor embassy is located right next to the city.